Saturdays are rainy days, but today is actually an exception, anyways, and we're loving it. We're loving the sun and the weather. All right, no one's gonna blame the rain for anything today. If you're in your business area, if you're in your office, I know you won't blame the rain today, okay? Because the weather is quite pleasant. All right, it's time for the recap of the major issues that made it to the news during the week. My name is Biblas Chi, the BB of Life. And I have my ever outspoken, vibrant, and energetic analyst in the studio. You all know who he is. He's no stranger to you all. Peter Anosike. Good evening, Peter Anosike.
Yeah, good evening. And good evening, listeners.
All right, Peter Anosike, we'll be doing justice to the stories I will be sharing with you this evening. And as you know, as usual, we'll be opening up the phone lines in the course of the conversation so you can make your contributions and tell us what you think or what you feel like. Anyways. All right. The first that I have here is Obi. This is coming from a Nobel laureate, Professor Wole Soyinka. He said Obi and Atiku donated outcome of the 2023 elections even before voting. He said that the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, who is Peter Obi, and that of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, failed to win the presidential election because they donated the outcome even before the voting. All right, this is coming from Wole Soyinka, and Peter Anosike will also tell us more about that. All right, another story that I have here is 35 professors, others in trouble over sexual harassment. Okay. No fewer than 35 lecturers in the nation's tertiary institutions have been indicted and dismissed over sexual misconduct in the past 5 years. Analysis of media reports by the correspondents has revealed this. The sexual harassment has been recurring in Nigerian higher educational institutions, with a survey conducted in 2018 by the World Bank Group's Women revealing that 70% of the female graduates from the tertiary institutions in the country were sexually harassed in school, with the main perpetrators being classmates and lecturers. And that is another story too that Peter Anosike will be analyzing for us. Okay, another one is professor indicted for exam malpractice among 69 lawyers. And sorry, I take that again. Professors indicted for exam malpractice among 69 lawyers shortlisted for Senior Advocate of Nigeria. The names of 35 professors that were dismissed for sexual misconduct in the universities and polytechnics, one of which is Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, that topped the list of institutions with the highest number of lecturers indicted for sexual misconduct. The Dean of the Faculty of Law at the Taraba State University, Professor Benedicta, who was caught and later suspended for examination malpractice, has made the short list of likely recipients of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria. That's another one. Interesting stories. Remember, I told you in the morning that we'll be coming with interesting stories for you. Okay, this is another one coming from, Atiku's aide describes Tinubu's appointment as renewed nepotism. Daniel Bala, spokesman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, presidential candidate in the last election, Atiku Abubakar, has described the appointment made so far by President Bola Tinubu as renewed nepotism. His comment is coming as after the president announced another of his tribesmen, Dr. Olayemi Michael Cardoso, to serve as the new governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria for a term of 5 years. Okay, in his tweet, he said, when Muhammadu Buhari PMB was busy placing his tribesmen in key positions in government, he was advised that it was nepotism. He didn't care. Now, at official Abat, that's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is unveiling his nepotism 15 Pro Max this September, alongside the release of Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max. That's funny. All right, moving on to the next story. Global leaders dump Nigeria's $10 billion investment target. Mr. Gabriel Aduda, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, has expressed concern over the failure of global leaders to invest approximately $10 billion in Nigeria's net zero and energy transition plans by 2060. Okay, the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that Adudua said this during a ministerial roundtable at the ongoing World Petroleum Congress on Wednesday in Calgary, Canada. With the topic, what does the energy transition mean for your country? All right, moving to the fourth one, or the 51 rather. Wike revokes Peter Obi's land in Abuja. I know this will interest you too. Wike confiscates Abuja lands from Peter Obi. Atiku campaign director Lee Alimoke orders in controversial degree. The minister said the owner's right to the lands were revoked because they failed to develop them in contravention of the Land Use Act of 1978. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has confiscated land properties owned by Peter Obi, the Labour Party's presidential candidate for the 2023 election, former Cross River Governor Lee Alimoke, and several others. All right, and the last one that we have here, the one that we'll be using to close up the conversation, is President Tinubu is not the first African president to ring NASDAQ bell. NASDAQ here is the National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotations. Okay, that he is not the first African president to ring NASDAQ bell. Presidential spokesman Ajuri, and this is coming on Thursday when the presidency said President Bola Tinubu became the first president to ring the closing bell at the world's second largest stock exchange, the National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotations, and this was disclosed through the special advisor of media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelele. All right, these are the stories that we have for you this Saturday, and like I said earlier, Peter Nosike is here, and he will be doing justices to the stories one after the other. And the first I have on my list is coming from a Nobel laureate, Wole Soyinka. Obi Atiku donated outcome of 2023 elections even before voting. All right, over to you, Peter Nosike. How do you react?
Well, Wole Soyinka and Pastor Tunde Bakari are two kind of a person. Both of them speaks from both sides of the mouth. The truth is that what he meant by that they donated the election before voting was because the PDP, because P2B came out of PDP. But the truth is that, which means PDP votes were divided among PDP and LP. But that's not true. 2023 voting was not PDP and Labour Party. We had new voters. New voters constitute over 60% of the 2003 voters. The signing of the Electoral Act in 2022 gave a lot of people hope that we are going to have a credible, fair, and free election. So people who were not voting before now decided that to vote. Then the frustration caused by the APC government also made the youths who were not voting before to come out and vote en masse. So 2023 voting is not PDP and Labour Party. This is what they have been using to justify Tinubu's victory. But it is wrong. Over 60% of those that voted in 2023 are fresh voters. And 50% of them were youths who were not members of the PDP. That's a fact. But the truth is that Wole Soyinka himself has been a beneficiary of rigging.
But he's not a politician, is he?
Wait, rigging, it is not only politicians that rig. Rigging occurs in various other ways. It's just like corruption. People think that corruption simply means stealing government money. No. corruption goes far higher than that. An instance, we have if you are given a contract to do and you do a shoddy job, it is corruption.
Yeah.
If you are a contractor and you short supply, it is corruption. Over invoicing, it is corruption. An instance, it takes about 500 million naira to do a 1 kilometer road, and you do it with 1 billion naira, it is corruption. So corruption is not only when somebody steal government money. Corruption occurs in so many other ways. The same thing as rigging. When somebody that you are better than in an office is promoted ahead of you, understand? Okay, many people don't know how in this day, that's Ade Ojo, how that company came into being. That Ade Ojo was working with British Petroleum. Then they conducted an interview. Somebody he did better than was promoted ahead of him. Understand? So because of that, he resigned and now started his own company. That's how Enizade came into being. So corruption is rigging is not only for politicians. Rigging occurs in so many other areas, and Wono Soyinka is a beneficiary of rigging. What do I mean? How did he got that award in 1986? Is
it the Nobel Prize?
The Nobel Prize. It was through rigging, because the greatest book ever come out of Africa, the greatest literature book ever written by an African is Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. The book has been translated into more than 50 different languages, sold over 20 million. Then how did Chinua Achebe, how did Wole Soyinka got that award? It was through Doyin Abionda, who was the MD of Concord newspaper then, and Ibrahim Babangida. These are the two people that helped him to win that award. It didn't come on merit. He never won that award on merit. Doyin Abionda, who was MKO Abionda's wife, and the MD, she was the MD of Concord newspaper at that time, and Ibrahim Babangida, the head of state. It is them that do the rigging for him. That was why when Babangida came on board, he was looking for credibility. Then when Soyinka his book was among those selected. Doyin Abionda was among the Nobel people that were to make that the decision. Understand?
Of course.
And Babangida being a businessman, a deal man, Doyin Abionda through MK Abionda went to Babangida. Look, Soyinka was among the Nobel nominees for literature. We need to help him. Babangida said, okay, if I help him, he will also help me. Understand? That's how that. So that was why Wole Soyinka has to serve under Babangida. Understand? As the FRSC chairman. Understand? So it was rub my back, I rub your back. Understand? That Nobel Prize didn't come on merit. It was Doyin Abionda that facilitated then IBB. Then when he now came on board to join IBB, he now got a prophet Shonarin to work as the chairman of Nigeria People's Bank then. That was how all of them came on board to work for IBB. because this guy had been criticizing the army. But when that opportunity came, they did that deal and he shut up. Understand? So he has benefited from rigging. He knows how rigging works. Understand? And he knew what happened in 2023 and as usual, tried to cover up. Soyinka is one of the problems with this country. This is the man that in 2015 was saying anybody but Jonathan. Soyinka called Jonathan's wife Shippopotamus. Understand?
Of course.
Now supporting Buhari, who he later dumped at the end of the day. So he's very good at speaking from both sides of the mouth. He's very good at speaking from both sides of the mouth. He's one of the troubles of this country. So he's Nobel. He cannot reach Chinua Achebe anywhere. Understand? We go for international book exhibitions and we know what people say. We go for international book exhibitions and we knew who the Western world recognized as African best literature authors. One time ago, Soyinka said that Obasanjo's books were full of errors. Obasanjo told him, yes, but I sell more copies than you, which is a fact. Which is a fact. That's what Obasanjo told him. Yes, I sell more copies than you. Chinua Achebe has sold over 20 million of Things Fall Apart. It has been translated in more than 50 different languages. What has Soyinka to show? So, saying that it was the crisis in PDP that made Tinubu that to win is not true. It is never true. New voters who were not members of PDP and the Labour Party were those that contributed 60% of the votes. That's a fact.
All right, over to the second story. How do you react to this? 35 professors and others in trouble over sexual harassment.
Well, do you know what a professor is? Do you know what a professor? A professor is somebody who has attained the peak of academics. What does education do? Education is the development of the body and the mind. Understand? And a professor should be somebody who should have that title of distinguished, not even senators. In Nigeria today, criminals in the Senate are answering most distinguished senator. So it is professors that are supposed to be answering that title of excellence, distinguished, because they have got to the peak, to the apogee of education, which is the development of the body and the mind. Then for a professor to be sacked for sexual harassment is unfortunate. And mind you, the 2023 elections, most of them were rigged by professors. So we now, the judges and the professors are now in the same category. Understand? Then with this, what face would they go to and stand in front of students? A professor should be a role model, a guardian, a symbol of excellence. Then when a professor begins to rig an election, begin to get involved in sexual harassment, it's one of the signs of the end of time.
But Peter Nosike, you and I will agree that sexual harassment has been in existence in our tertiary institutions.
By professors.
I really don't know.
That's the thing.
Some of them are actually professors doing it.
Do you know, in journalism, what we call news eh, is something unusual. Is something unusual. Understand me? So what makes this thing big is that professors
are involved.
Professors are involved. Understand? Not classmates, not classmates. Understand?
Professors are lecturers too, right?
They are lecturers. Understand me? And these are people who others, those that are teaching, should be looking up to.
As role models.
As role models, as guardian, as somebody you will one day want to be in future. Then what does this portend to our educational system? This thing now has gotten to every part of the world. That Nigeria professors, 35.
No one, not two, 35.
35.
Like how many are they that a whole 35 will be?
Understand me? 35. So it is not a good news at all for our educational system. So it means that one, that our students are not passing on merit. That's simply what it means.
Of course.
Which also puts the certificate that Nigerian students are presenting into questioning.
Yeah.
Do you know if this lady is a product of that professor? Which means she did not get this result on merit. So it doesn't tell a good story about our educational system and even our certificates.
Sometimes I imagine how these professors will look like asking, harassing students sexually, asking them out. For God's sake, I don't understand.
So, but corruption started when they begin to involve them in elections. That's the beginning.
Corruption started in the school where they are teaching.
When they begin to involve them, when they begin that to name professors as wreck.
Because they rate them high, and actually that is what it should be. Just that our professors are not behaving well.
Because they are seen as embodiment of excellence. Course. But what are they doing today? Rigging elections, manipulating results. About 2019, a professor in Akwa Ibom was sent to prison for rigging an election for a school sat holder. A professor was sent to prison for rigging an election for a school sat holder. Isn't it shameful?
Nigeria should look into these professors.
They shouldn't be used. Even using them for election is wrong. Using them because one, it's either you follow education or you follow money. You must not follow both.
Of course.
You cannot serve two masters at a time. That exposing them to money to politicians is spoiling them. So that's where all these things starts. That's where it is shameful that this thing will be coming out of Nigeria. These are the type of news that we used to hear from Zimbabwe.
So what are you insinuating?
So it's the kind of stories that we used to hear from Bundawayo, Zimbabwe. But now hearing it in this country is very, very unfortunate.
All right, Peter Ansike, this one will interest you. They said in February 2020, the institution also, Bafemi Awolowo University, also announced the suspension of a lecturer at the Center for Distance Learning, Monday Omoeta, for sexually molesting a 19-year-old female student. Imagine. Professor going for a 19-year-old student.
So that is it now. That is it. How can he stand in front of students to teach? What is he going to tell them? What is he going to tell them? And if you look, OAU lecturers constitute over 30% of those people.
Of course. And we rate OAU so high.
Understand? They constitute over 30%. And it's not fair for our OAU. It's a shame.
Our OAU. Imagine. All right, this story will interest you too. Still on professors. I really don't know what is happening to Nigerian professors. This one says professors indicted for exam malpractice among 69 lawyers shortlisted for Senior Advocate of Nigeria.
Okay.
Wow.
A professor in exam malpractice. Expo.
Oh my goodness.
They need to go back and begin to question his WAEC, his JAMB.
Everything should be revealed.
Everything should be. If a professor at that stage can, which means he has been
exam malpractice.
Which means he had been doing it.
That's why he is using to excel to that level.
Which means he had been doing it. So they should go back to his WAEC, his JAMB, his courses. He must have been involving in that
to get to that level.
To get to if he can do it that as a professor, it means that it has entered his DNA. Understand me?
Of course.
It means that it must have entered his DNA. Then, if a professor should cheat in an exam, what will he expect of the student that he is teaching?
I wonder.
You just carry textbook. No, these people are disgracing us. Our professors and judges are disgracing us. Even area boys are now behaving better. Area boys in Nigeria are now behaving better than the professors and the judges.
Peter Nsige, what do you have to say with these professors engaging in exam malpractice and the Mmesoma of JAMB? You remember Mmesoma's story?
They called the DSSO for Mmesoma.
19-year-old.
Then what are they going to do and upon that they still nominated him for SAN. Upon his exam malpractice, he was nominated among those that will be awarded the senior advocate of
to show you the kind of
Nigeria.
Country we have.
A decade society.
To show you the kind of country we are in.
A decade society. As Chinua Achebe correctly put it, there was a country.
There was a country. Honestly, there was a country.
There was a country. If a professor can engage in malpractice, at the end of the day, he was still nominated for senior
advocate,
which means he's going that to court to be rigging judgments, and that's to be manipulating judgments.
Oh, wow.
It's quite a shame.
Very, very. Look at the way they sat on a round table for Mmesoma, a 19-year-old girl, and then they know that this is what they have been doing. All right, let's go to the next story. Atiku's aide describes Tinubu's appointment as renewed nepotism.
Well. People say that we are now going from finalization to urbanization. Understand? That is what people are now saying, that we are now going from finalization to urbanization based on the appointments that we are seeing under Tinubu. So when Tinubu said that he will continue from where Buhari stopped, people may not understood what he was saying. Everybody saw what Buhari was saying, was doing, appointing everybody from his this thing, understand?
From his tribe.
So, but the truth is that there's no way Nigeria can progress in this way. There's no way Nigeria can progress in when nepotism becomes the order of the day. And this is why America is succeeding. America don't care from where you come from. Once you can do this job, they'll give it to you. They don't care whether you are Indian, whether you are a Chinese, whether you are an African.
Whether your father is rich or not.
What they care is the result. Can you deliver? I was even trying to a kind of I felt that why Buhari was appointing people from his own side is because he wasn't exposed. Understand? He was not exposed. He was not building bridges like a true politician, like Atiku, like Bonda and Tinubu, because Atiku, I know Atiku can sit down within an hour and appoint 36 ministers from all the states in the country. Tinubu can also do that thing because he has built bridges. He has made a lot of friends across boards. But when they begin to appoint people from their side, understand? Then it becomes worrisome. There's a book titled Why Nations Fail. Understand? There's a book that was titled Why Nations Fall. The book stated that it is the parasitic political and economic classes that are the main cause of nations failing. That it is the parasitic political and economic classes, understand, that causes nations to fail. What does it mean? According to the book, what counts to them is what they get out of the system and not what they will put into the system. That is the parasitic nature of these people. What they will get out of the system, not what they will put into the system. And that's why nations fail. And in Nigeria, the worst breed of this type are our politicians. Under the Buhari administration, over 70% of the MDAs are from the Muslim North. Over 70% of the heads of the MDAs are from the Muslim North. Understand?
Yeah.
So now Tinubu is now there, and over 70% of the head of the MDAs, majorly both from the security and the economy, are from the Yoruba extraction. Understand?
Yeah.
And there's no way this can work. There's no, because for a nation that to work, all hands must be on deck. Nigeria has more than 250 ethnic groups. 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria. And for you that to appoint people from just one, to give one ethnic group dominance over the other, is also corruption, because nepotism is part of corruption. Nepotism is part of corruption. Even the army, we are sensitive of this. That's why they did a decree. That's why that they brought out federal character. That should be Decree 76 or so, which was also in our 89 Constitution and 1999 Constitution. That's federal character. That the composition of any board should reflect the ethnic nationalities in the country. That the composition of any boards should reflect the ethnic nationalities in the country. That one ethnic group should not have a dominance over the other ones. That's what the federal character said. It was the military that put this into our constitution, which means they are sensitive of this. But it is this thing that the civilians are not taken into consideration. Understand? It is this thing that the civilians are not taken into consideration. Nigeria has more than 250 ethnic nationalities. And one nationality is having over 70% of the MDAs. Just as it was under Buhari, I felt that Tinubu should have done better. At least we heard that he is good in America. That's what works in America. can you deliver on this, not where you come from? Can you deliver on this, not where you come from? So, it's a pity. It's a pity. Very, very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. All right, let's go to the next story. Global leaders dump Nigerians' $10 billion investment target.
It's not a surprise. It is expected.
Why?
It's only a madman that will come and invest in Nigeria. It is only a bad businessman that will come and invest in Nigeria. Any businessman that is coming to Nigeria is coming to do what? Charity. Is coming to do charity because Nigerian business environment divorces businesses. We don't have enabling business environment. Nigeria don't have enabling business environment. So it is taking an uncalculated risk to come to Nigeria to invest. There's no electricity. There's no diesel. There's no road, no infrastructure. What are you coming to do? 2 days ago, I read a statement issued by the special advisor to Tinubu on energy, where she said that Nigeria has secured a $13 billion deal on oil and gas investment. That's a commitment. That was 2 days ago. That is from the minister, from special advisor on the president on energy. She was celebrating that Nigeria has gotten a commitment of $13 billion from Exxon Mobil and Shell. Understand? She described this commitment as groundbreaking. Then what is commitment? Commitment simply means an agreement. Understand? Commitment simply means an agreement. Understand? I will come and do this. Understand? So that dumping was also a sort of commitment because those people must have agreed that to come and do. Then when they now do their feasibility studies, they will say no, this is not viable. This is not viable. I used that to tell people, money will never enter your hand, no be your own.
Of course.
Money will never enter your hand, no be your own, because anything can happen. The person can change his mind. Understand? So you don't, even though the money is your own, and the person has promised to pay you, don't rejoice yet until the money enters into your hand. But these people are celebrating a commitment because everybody wants to be seen as doing something. I have secured a $13 billion commitment. Understand? So, but as I said in the morning, these people know Nigeria more than we in Nigeria know. These people have those giving them information, and they know the economic situation of Nigeria. They know our purchasing power, and so on and so forth. So that is the reason why they dumped the agreement, because they must have done their feasibilities and discovered that no, going here will be a waste of money. How many commitments did the Buhari got in his 8 years? How many of them came to this country? How many of them? So those people have their genuine reasons for dumping, coming to invest in Nigeria, because Nigeria as it stands now is not viable. Where the justice system is based on cash and carry. You don't go there to invest. Where there's insecurity, you don't go there to invest. Where there's no infrastructure, you don't go there to invest. Because what is eating most businesses in Nigeria is high overhead. High overhead. The overhead cost of doing business in Nigeria will not allow you to survive, let alone make profit. So it's only a madman that will come to invest in the country. So that's why they dumped
the investment. All right, let's go to this one. It is an interesting one. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, revokes P2B's land in Abuja.
Well, read that whole
story. It says Wike confiscates Abuja lands from P2B, Atiku campaign director Iyeli Moke, and others. The minister said the owner's right to the lands were revoked because they failed to develop them in contravention of the Land Use Act of 1978. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has confiscated land properties owned by P2B and Cross River Governor Iyeli Imoke and several others. This is what I have here.
Okay, so if you read out the names of those whose land were confiscated, they were none of them is from APC. None of those people were from APC. They are all in old and new PDP. For me, Wike is not helping Tinubu at all. He's been petty. He's behaving like an area boy. Nyesom Wike is behaving like an area boy. If anybody thinks that he is helping Tinubu, he is not helping Tinubu. He is behaving like a tout. Understand me? Now, even if what you did is right, the timing is wrong. Even if what he did is right, the timing is wrong. People will say that Buhari or Tinubu is moving against the opposition. That's how they are going to interpret it, which is wrong, which doesn't put him or the government that he is serving on a bright note. So he said that he drinks a 40 years old wine, but Wike is a very sad man. He is suffering inside. That's the truth. If you look at him with your third eye, you know that this guy is suffering inside. Mentally, he's not fit. So going to confiscate P2B's and Atiku's men and property does not make any meaning. It is a wrong thing to do at this time. People will see it as intimidation. So it doesn't make, he is being petty. And even he's not even doing P2B. They gave P2B that land at Katampe when P2B was a governor
of Anambra State.
That's over 10 years ago. So if P2B has wanted to develop it, he will have done that since. So the bad name that act will give to Tinubu's administration will be far worse than what Wike did. So Wike is not helping Tinubu in any way.
Maybe let's call him an overzealous minister.
That's the thing now. That's the thing.
All right, so let's go to the last one that I have here. President Tinubu is not the first African president to ring Nasdaq bell. This is coming from presidential spokesman Ajuri.
No, on Thursday, Ajuri told the Nigerians that Tinubu
is the first African president
to
ring Nasdaq bell. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. So but checks reveal that he is not. Mind you, it is the same Ajuri that the other time said that they have lifted ban on
the Dubai visa ban.
Dubai visa ban. So for me, this Ajuri is nothing but Tinubu's hype man. Ajuri is nothing but Tinubu's hype man. That's what he is doing.
Does he pay him to hype with lies?
I am now putting him in the same category. If you are watching WWE, there's a one advocate. They call him Paul Heyman. Understand? Paul Heyman is a hype man. Understand? So this Ajuri is not. We should be calling him a presidential hype man instead of a presidential spokesman, because like Wike, he is overdoing things.
Overzealous people.
Like Wike, he is overdoing things. After when he said that thing, then they drew his attention to it. He said, that he was misinformed.
Can you imagine?
A journalist
was misinformed.
You
didn't check your facts right.
Who misinformed you? But he is always pushing. That's how even he didn't even read the press release that Emirates, which is the official information source of UAE.
Yes.
He didn't read it well. They have lifted the ban. Working on half truth, half information. So we shouldn't call him a spokesman. We should be calling him the Tinubu's
hype man.
Hype man. Understand? We should be calling whatever he tells you, take it with a pinch of salt. Do your investigation before you believe, because he is deceiving everybody.
All right, thank you so much, Pitano CK, for that interesting analysis coming from you. It is time to hand over the conversation to our listeners so they can make their own contributions and join in the conversation. All right, to you listeners, you all know how we do it. We've opened the microphone or the phone lines for you to talk. The number to call as usual is 0700 903 903 903. You can also connect with us via the WhatsApp line on 0700 903 9039. So let us know what you think about the stories we shared with you. And among those stories we shared is coming from Nobel laureate Soyinka, Professor Wole Soyinka. Okay, I really do not like addressing people as professor these days. Okay. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
I am Timi. Yes, I'm Comrade Timi.
Okay, Chime, go ahead.
I'm calling from Bukna.
All right.
Yes, I am highly excited. I'm very happy to hear from a distinguished Nigerian like that. All his analysis we are 100% correct. I was very, very, very careful listening to all he has been saying. I just give him kudos for all this explanation. And moreover, most of the things that's happening within Western part when it comes to maybe all these appointments is very, very unfair. It's very 100% unfair. They're not treating the Nigerians equally. They are not going as in from one side of Nigeria to another. And as what this comrade was saying, based on ethnicity. And we have up to 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria. But look at what is going on. So I am highly excited and I like all his comments. He did very, very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ime. Thank you very much. All right, the phone lines are still open for you. 0700 903 903 903.
As you said, professors should be hiding their faces now.
If you be professor, hide your face.
Hide their face.
Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, my sister. This is Obi calling from Ikeja.
All right, Obi, how you doing?
I'm okay today, my sister. I agree to.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, about Professor, I'm surprised. He has not said anything, but that is happening in Chicago up to now. Never made any comments, no correction. It's really a surprise. I don't know whether it's just one-sided or whatever he's doing. It's really unfortunate. People so much believe in him, and saw him as an elder statesman, but it's not even that line of an elder statesman. That's by the way. But 8 months of Robert Green for Wike, say, first law, never outshine your master. Wike is trying to outshine Tinubu. When the punishment and the axe will fall on him, we will understand. People will say, Libo, let me talk for broken. Dog, when one die, when dog one die, you know they hear this of shoes. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Obi. Thank you so much.
So that's the truth.
Let's quickly go to the WhatsApp.
Okay, yeah.
Hello, good evening to you.
Good afternoon.
All right, good evening, good afternoon.
Okenze Anosike. We're supposed to call you Okenze Anosike. I don't know whether you have collect title from your village.
No, you never collect. You go give am this one.
You go give am Okenze Anosike this time around.
Okenze. All right, tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, this is John Legend calling from Mushi.
Oh, John Legend, you're welcome to the show.
Yeah. One thing I want to ask Mr. Anosike is this. Is it that Bini Road, there is a spirit in that Bini Road that every time some of my friends that from Ladipo here went to market since Friday, they have been coming back to Lagos. They are not yet in Lagos. They stuck in that Bini. I stuck there last week for more than 48 hours. I want to ask, Obaseke is fighting with his deputy. What a selfish government is this? Good evening, ma. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Hello, good evening. Please, whenever you call us, try to adjust the audio of your radio so we can hear you. Peter Ansike, is there anything happening in Bini Road? I don't know.
Well, I didn't know. I cannot tell.
All right, going to the WhatsApp messages. This is coming from Dayo. Dayo is from Faba. Evening crew, I want to ask presenter, if somebody or your organization is doubting your credentials, you will tell these people to verify without blocking. Excuse me. Atiku has made a tremendous move by going to the court in the US by making the Chicago University to release the documents for clarification now that the election case has gone to the Supreme Court. If it were to be Nigerian court, they wouldn't allow people to verify Tinubu's certificate. Now your president and his musketeers are running up and down not to release vital documents like sinners which no man pursueth. With this development, if the document is genuine, we will be able to verify if truly he covered his tracks in the US as governor and now selected president in Nigeria. We'll appreciate if the Supreme Court overturned this daylight robbery. Hello, good evening to you.
I'm Joseph from Ajawisi.
You're who?
Joseph Chukwueke calling from Ajawisi.
All right, Joseph, you're welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Anosike, I thank you so much. I just want to contribute on our president, Tinubu, saying that he's going all over the world, wasting Nigerian scarce resources, saying that he's weighing foreign investors. You don't need to weigh foreign investors when your home is good for investment. You don't need to tell somebody to come and do something where you will get money. If you make the resources you're supposed to use to make your place good, to make your place profitable for foreign investors, they will truth in their numbers. They will be begging you because we have the mineral resources, we have the population, we have the viable market, we have everything in Nigeria. Just a good government, the foreign investors will come by themselves. He's running up and down, waiting for the council saying that he's going for foreign investors. I'm picking for this country. Thank you for sharing today. There was a country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. There was a country. Thank you.
That's the truth. If you make your country well, foreign investors will be coming on their own. You don't need to go to beg them to come. Put the necessary infrastructure, the enabling environment. Put the necessary infrastructure, put the enabling environment. Foreign investors will be coming on there. You don't need to go to beg them.
All right, let's take this. Hello, good evening to you. Hello, good evening to you.
Good morning. How you doing, BB
Good
and
morning,
Mr.
Uncle
Onosike?
Seb. Uncle Seb, good morning.
How are they?
We are fine. We are fine.
Okay, Sebastian from New York City.
Yeah.
Mr. Onosike, well done.
Thank you, sir.
You don't scatter table this morning. Only table
Na
when we
table
demand that
shaker.
you don't scatter everything.
Na table shaker him
You
be.
try. Yeah, so the one that piqued my interest. You have a lot of stuff that you spoke about earlier. But with this, the one that really shook me, I know we didn't talk about it, but recently I heard about some stuff that was going on in the north, where they found out that some judges were not trained to be judges. They were sitting on the bench, and when it came to light, the next thing that I heard was, oh, they gave them 10 years to go and train themselves. So I was saying to myself, what kind of country is this where you find people dishing out judgment and they are not trained? What kind of judgment did they give? Based on what? If it was like here in the US, investigation will be carried out, and all the cases that was handled by those judges, so-called judges, they will either discard them or people will go to jail. You understand? But in Nigeria, the foundation of our society is so faulty. I'm saying also that there should be no need for anybody to be, any professor to be handling our INEC situation. They are called REC. In other words, they are wrecking the institution of voting. They are doing some damages, a whole lot of damages to our electoral processes. So I'm saying instead of using the professors, they should use plumbers, mechanic, artisans. I think they have more integrity than the professor that we are seeing now, who've been suspended and charged with a rape. This thing has been going on for a very long time. As a matter of fact, it's just that the proliferation of the social media is bringing them to light. Professors, right from time, in my own opinion, they've been very corrupt right from time. So that word professor, they don't even merit it in anymore. You know what I'm saying? For
Yeah.
Wike destroying, seizing and destroying properties in Abuja, like you rightly said, he's bringing disrepute to the current administration, which that is seeking for legitimacy. Wike is not doing the administration any good, and he himself is leaving a bad legacy in the mouth, in the current administration and in the minds of the people that are living in Abuja. I think it's a very wrong thing for him to be doing. He's being vindictive and is not comporting himself in a proper light. Thank you for the opportunity. God bless you. Have a blessed
Thank you,
weekend.
Uncle Seb. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, Peter Noseke,
So
what do you have to say?
basically, I'm against using professors for election. That's not their.
All right, can we take this, please? Hello, good evening to
Hello,
you.
hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, my name is Oluwatosin from the United States of America. How are you guys doing
All
today?
right, Oluwatosin, we are doing fine. And you?
Very fine.
All
Mr.
right.
Anosike,
Good evening.
Kedu Kodi, sir.
Oh,
Ọdịmma.
oh.
Well done, sir. Always glad to see you on VOP, and then my sister. Thank you for all that you guys are doing.
Thank you so much.
We know that Nigeria will get better in our days, in our time, because we have a very wonderful presidential candidate of Labour Party, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, my principal. But other than that, today's topic I've seen, one thing I've come to realize is that liars always look for every avenue to tell more lies and then cover their nonsense that they did. Why is Tinubu afraid of revealing his academic record? I mean, by the grace of God, went to Lagos State Polytechnic when I was in Nigeria, did OND and HND. If you go to Lagos State Polytechnic, you can go check my academic record. Mr. Anosike, I know you went to a school. You can go ask, you can tell your school to go verify.
Sure,
You
sure.
can tell you to go verify your academic record. And my sister, the same thing. So, Tinubu said he went to Chicago. CSU said Tinubu came to Chicago. But the only thing is, they didn't tell us the Tinubu that came to Chicago, if he was a female or a male. That's one thing. But if Tinubu came out as a president to contest this election, the fact that he came out to contest this election and then, in quotes, through Mahmoud Yakubu became the president of Nigeria, that means he's now a public figure. Why shouldn't his academic record be in the public space? Barack Obama revealed his own birth certificate when Donald Trump said he's not a citizen of America. He brought out his birth certificate. What is the supposed president of Nigeria hiding if there is no shadiness in what he's trying to do? Now, Chicago the court through this lawyer, they appeal and then they have a delay on this. But I know that everything will be revealed. And so let's now know who truly is this man. Maybe truly he went to Chicago or not, but I will leave that to the court to decide. Hopefully everything is revealed on time and then we are able to see. But to what Timi said, I think also, I mean, I was thinking about this in the middle of the morning very early today, that we should not leave this whole matter for Atiku alone. Nigerians, both in Nigeria and then all over the world, can go on Twitter, go tag the judge Nancy that is on this case now. Hashtag, please rule on this case. Nigerians need to know if their president, need to get the academic record of their president. Because it is now dire that we need to know of it. I mean, Atiku himself did not hide anything. My principal, Peter Obi, his academic record is out there. Mr. Osike, I can go verify in your school if you truly went there or not. What is our president hiding? And maybe you have an answer to that. I don't know. Then also, when it comes to people saying that the Atiku's case in Chicago may not have any evidence, may not have anything to do with Supreme Court, I want to disperse that or probably dispel that assertion, because there's a reason why Atiku is fighting for this to be released. And I think it's in their petition, the forgery. I think also it's on Peter Obi's Labour Party's petition to the appeal court. That's Justice Tsunami, like I call him Tsunami. All the nonsense they did under their judgment just trashed out 10 out of 13 prayers of Peter Obi. Now we can now see how you can juxtapose our judicial arm in Nigeria and then the world judicial arm. See how justice sits on matters in court all over the world. Look at the Ekwekere Madu's case in UK. If he was in Nigeria, I bet you that guy would have gone scot-free.
Of course.
Judge Gilbert said the academic record of Tinubu must be released. If he was in Nigeria, no Gilbert would have. Tsunami would not do that. But Gilbert said, release it. The only reason why it's been delayed by Nancy is because Tinubu said if you release it, it may cost him his life. And here in America, I mean, when it comes to life, you want to, in a kind of way, protect that life. And I think they have 14 days grace window that I think they are trying to bank on. But whether they believe it or not, that record will be revealed, because people are now on both the court, Chicago State University, and even our own government here will be on them, because it cannot be good for us here and be bad for us in Nigeria. We want to really know who this man is. So my Mr. Nosiki, I don't know if what you can provide for us as maybe your own thought pattern to this, but I don't really know what this guy is really hiding. I really need to know what this Amoda and then Amore Ogunleri. I want to know what is there that you cannot reveal to the world. What is there? You have a private jet, we know. But what is now there about your academic? You have become the president through somebody, Mahmoud Yakub. You are not a public figure. everything about you. We'll not be eating any. We should know if we should know everything about you, including his health record. And don't be surprised. This guy did not even declare his assets when he became president. So I'll leave it there so that I don't hold the line too long, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Oluwatosin. Thank you so much. All right. We'll still have some other calls, but okay. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Hello, good evening. All right. Okay, Peter Nsike, what do you have to say?
On what issue is that?
On what he said, Oluwatosin said, if you have any answer to why the president is hiding his certificates.
Oluwatosin is nearer to
Chicago.
He's in the United States. I'm in Nigeria.
And he's in a better position to answer that. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Please tell
Mr.
us.
Nosike. Good evening. My name is Ugo.
Ugo, yeah.
All right, Ugo, you're welcome.
Yeah. The thing when they happen for a country where Nigeria be say if our people say if animal they run bad run, they go they shoot a bad gun. As it is now, I finished secondary school. I'm still saying I finished secondary school in year 2002 in Tungamaje, Abuja. I didn't value the result anymore because when I knew that I'm not going to go to high institution, I decided to dash the school my results. So after 20-something years, I went to this. After almost 20 years, I went to the same school. That was 2021 in October, on verge of leaving Nigeria. I went to the same school and they demanded. No teacher, those that taught me during those days, none of them again is still in that school. So I collected the number of the academic head in the school, and I made a call. My result was ready when I went to collect the result, and I picked my result. You understand? I came down to UK today with that result, so that I will have anything I thought that I can present that at least I can defend me as somebody who understand little of English or any other or this thing. So at least have any academic qualification. The thing that we are asking Mr. Tinubu is not what people say. They say that he's a powerful, he has the highest grade in accountant. That's what we are saying. What we are saying is that present school certificate, let it be F9 throughout, but let it be genuine that so school issued such result, such certificate to you. That's what we are requesting for. So we are not asking him to give us the best result that any school can give in the whole world. Are you getting what I'm saying now? Yeah. What we are saying is give us any result, even if it's F9 from Chicago University. Let it be genuine. The school gave you the result. Whatever that is inside is none of my business. Are you getting it? Yeah. So if they are hiding all this thing that they are hiding, and Nigeria you see, our people we get big problem. What does supposed to get out the national interest is what actually is driving us crazy. But what concerns majority of us is not a problem to all of us. Just as the young man that called now said that everybody should be tagging, make the result of the president be visible so that every Nigerian can see. That should be Nigerian issue, not Atiku's issue. For God's sake, Atiku is not an average Nigerian. So, but average and the below average and the other elite abandon it for only Atiku because Atiku is pursuing only his interest to be the president of Nigeria for himself, not for Nigerians. So we get problem, and we are not finding a solution to our problem in any way. So now it's Atiku's issue, it's Obi's issue, it's not Nigerian issue. Are you getting what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
And we are in democracy. Then where is the voice of the masses? Where is the strength of the masses? Where is the value of the masses? Where is the eye and the sight of the masses? So what they will tell me now is to come back to Nigeria to come and fight. I left to Nigeria when I left to Nigeria for the purpose that took me out of Nigeria. And you people that are staying back in Nigeria should stay in Nigeria. People say those that are at home are for those that traveled outside, and those that traveled outside are for those that are at home. So Nigerians that are feeling the pain should fight for Nigeria for now, while we support them financially and otherwise. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hugo. Thank you so much. It's getting interesting. All right, we still have some other calls. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, oh. Tell us your name, and
Yes,
location,
I'm under
oh.
the rain. My name is Comrade Iroko from Ejibo.
All right, comrade, go ahead.
I'm under the rain before me. I now
Sorry, oh.
went somewhere to.
Sorry.
Let me come from here. It is from Professor Wale Soyinka. I want to say something about them, our Baba. The Wale Soyinka. I can count that Baba as a glutton. A glutton supposed to deserve one another. But I want to, Benny, I want to realize something recently that just happened to most of us. You see, it is the high time. All the people that are supposed to be disgraced in this Nigeria will cause themselves by their hands to be disgraced themselves, not by age, not by white, not by ethnics. Honestly, I will tell you this. Even what Wike is doing in Abuja is because of the 30% of Obi, 25% of Obi. That is why he went there to go and be disrupting them in case, if anything, must have want to happen. Again, all the people that call themselves professors, it is nickname. Professor is a nickname. And they should go and off their suits, their jacket. Honestly, even their white hair, they should go and barb it and turn to condo. Honestly, thank you.
Comrade,
this is Comrade
thank
Iroko from
you.
Ejibo.
Comrade
God bless
Iroko,
you.
well done. Sounds like it's quite funny.
Our professors are not. They are not. They are not
He said they should go and remove their
trying at all. They are not. They are not trying. They are not. They are not.
All right. Hello. Good evening to you. Okay. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much for picking my call.
Thank you so much. I've been trying to.
Tell that Baba, say professor no be nickname or people they work to get time.
Now Nigerian
Yeah.
professor they talk about.
Yeah, if the thing has been rubbish in Nigeria, come on, to be a professor, man.
Sorry, you didn't tell
even
us
get
your name. You didn't
PhDs.
tell us your name.
Oh, apology. My name is Remy. I'm calling from
All right, Remy. Go ahead.
London. You see, why I've really reduced the bar. The bar was never high before. Anyway, this is a country of the greatest mind you could ever imagine in the community of black people, even around the world. Yeah? Now, the whole world are working on going to Mars, how to zero net economy, climate change. People are doing policy conversation. Now we are still at the point that Uncle Tinubu, please show us your. I say, if I show you my results, that will cost me mental health. Come on, baby. Even mental health problem. Even if you have third class lower or no class at all, as long as you graduate, let's see. That's what people are now. People are asking Atiku to get lost. Atiku is not dumb. Okay, if Atiku don't see it, something must have propelled him to go this route. And the most suspicious thing here is why his Uncle Tinubu scared. Now, people are saying, some are saying, oh, Chicago University have said he came to our school. You can't take them for their words because of these discrepancies. And for anyone to think that university in abroad cannot do fraud, there are fraudulent universities in America. I told your friend the other day, Trump University was like a 419 institution. Trump has to be compelled by court to pay some compensation. Not too long ago, FBI detected some academic institutions that were never licensed or that were doing fake stuff, that were smuggling and all of that. Go and check it out. These things are public information. However, one thing I know that we say on the street, ma'am, on the street, there's an expression, blessed is he who lie always, and woe unto those who allow themselves to be repeatedly lied to. Look, standard must be raised. Tinubu will respect Nigeria by just releasing this result. It's a sign of respect. So Tinubu's follower, people can say, oh, it doesn't matter. It matters because somebody that wants to run your economy must come with clean hand, must be able to show to you that they respect you, and him refusing to release these results, it just shows it's a reflection of condescending behavior of our leaders towards the citizens. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Remy. Thank you so much. All right. Let's quickly go to the WhatsApp messages. I have one here. This is okay, no name. He said our problems in Nigeria is our professors. Professors, well done, oh, now well done. Okay, I have this one. The guest in your radio station is wrong to say that the book Things Fall Apart, written by Professor Chinua Achebe, is more acceptable globally than the books written by Professor Wole Soyinka. We need to do research, fact finding, and get feedback from institutions in the United States.
I want to respond to that. I want to respond to that. Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart has been translated in more than 50 different languages in the world. It is the most widely read book in the country. It is the most widely studied book in Africa as a whole. It has sold 20 million copies. How much copies has
Professor Wole Soyinka
sold? How many Nigerians, even Nigeria, knows his books? How many? So they are not. I'm in the system. Okay. I'm an author myself. I go for international book exhibitions. Nobody in Africa ranks next to
Chinua Achebe.
At all.
All right. Hello, Adele. I hope you've heard that and you understand that. Hello. Good evening.
Hi.
Good evening. What's your name?
My name is Great Ben.
All right, Great Ben. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm so glad with your presentation. Thanks a lot to Mr. Anosike. He's doing a great job. His analysis are quite optimal and very classic, unbiased. I hope that we'll still sustain such class of journalists because the academia is destroyed, the judiciary is gone, we don't have military anymore. Basically every facet of the Nigerian society is gone. I hope the fourth estate, I also understand that the fourth estate is really under attack, but I hope that people like Julian Osike and a few others will keep the candle on. Having said that, I really condemn the statements and the open defense of Professor Wole Soyinka. Ab initio, I knew that he wasn't a very apologist anyways. He wasn't really an honest fellow. He has been deceiving Nigerians a lot back in the days. That is by the way. And coming up to this point to defend the APC openly, blatantly, telling lies on international stage. He wasn't the INEC. He didn't work for INEC, and yet he had the temerity to tell the world that LP didn't win the election, that they came third. That was he was supposed to say that. He has shown so much bias, and yet this same man, a professor, is keeping his eyes closed on a certificate, on a person that has been accused of certificate forgery. So there is no honesty in what he is saying and what he has been saying. And Nigerians, I totally agree. I'm also going to do that, like to tag the judge. We need to know the fate of the president. The issue in the Supreme Court, whether it impacts on it or not, because we already knew that if the 5 judges in the appeal court could do the hatchet job they did, on about the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court chief judge or whatever is wearing a papa's cap, that is on its own. Finally, I knew Wike more than this, and I knew what he could do or what he can do. Wike is more or less a tout, and go and check his background. Background matters. Upbringing matters. Even parental upbringing matters. Thank you very much and continue your good job.
Thank you, great Ben. We really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, our phone lines are still open, and you can send WhatsApp messages. That's if you can. All right, this one says, "Sir, okay." Before I go there, hello, good evening to you.
Hey, my sister. Good evening.
Good evening. How are
I've
you
been trying. I
doing?
thought I was so fine. I thought I wasn't going through.
No,
First
no,
and
sorry
foremost, let
about
me,
that.
you see, I
Let's get
treasure
to meet you.
professors a
Let's
lot.
get to meet you. Your name, please.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited because I never thought, as I was saying, we'll get to. I'm AJ. You know me now.
All right,
AJ,
AJ.
AJ.
AJ, welcome.
Yeah. So let me pelt my brother Anosike there with unimaginable encomium. It's really, gladdening to me. I treasure professors a lot.
Okay.
I had that, sobriquet right from primary school to justify the essence of brilliance that God has given me. And I always look forward to being the real one someday. But lately, I'm so disheartened, so exasperated that Professor Soyinka will exhibit professorship, in that way. I just want to be mild with my language. And coming to sexual harassment, the professors have disappointed me. What is in a woman that cannot render them conscious and cautioning that they have to compromise? I'm disappointed in them. Just as Mr. Anosike said, if a professor can subject a woman to sex, it means the certificate offered is not a real certificate, it's a fake certificate. Imagine what is so spectacular about a woman that you cannot do without them. What is special? Now, going to the issue of certificates about regarding our president, what is there that you cannot reveal to the world? One of the speakers said, "You are a public figure now, so we should know who you are. If you don't want us to know who you are, then don't come to the public. Keep to your state of secrecy. You're a public figure." I'm disappointed, grossly disappointed. Then the UK, all sorts of names that have been, used in descending on him is justifying. I'm telling you. So they send you to go and eliminate, and you don't question yourself that, these people, do they want being treated this way? Even if you have to revoke, let it be legal. Call the attention to it. In summation, professors have disappointed me because I treasure them. I love them. But these days, before I look to a particular professor, I'll permeate through him very well. After all, not all professors are professors. What we have these days are professors of Nadr, not professors of Zenith. I rest my case here.
Thank you, AJ, for resting your case. Thank you so much. And our diasporan brothers, when they were calling, they were so particular about Bola Ahmed Tinubu's certificate, and they didn't touch some other areas. Okay, I do want you to touch some other areas. Hello. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Please tell us your name and location.
My name is Kolawole. I'm calling from mainland.
All right, Kolawole, go ahead.
Yes, please. I want to correct some ideology concerning this presentation of some people. You cannot just be coming on national radio and be bastardizing qualifications of people, also diving in education. And people are hearing this program globally. We should be careful. Illiterate, some people that are talking, some of them may be an illiterate. Some of them may not pass through school. Because you don't have this qualification doesn't mean you should be rubbishing on other people's qualifications. That professor, you are just calling professor as if professor.
Oh, we lost the call. Sorry about that. Do well to call us back. Do well to call us back, and
Well,
let's get to hear what you have to say. Okay, you want to react?
the truth is that most of the professors are disappointing us. Professors are rigging elections in the country. Most of the recs in the country are professors. The elections were mad because of the professor. They are compromising. Understand me? We don't have. I want to use Woneshenka's word. There was professors. There's no more professor.
Okay.
There was professors. There's no more professor in the country.
I do hope Kolawole is aware that they were indicted for sexual harassment and exam malpractice, and that's
rigging,
too bad.
Rigging.
That's too bad.
Rigging.
Very, very bad. Okay. So when people talk, it is not that they just talk. There's a reason for their talk. All right, going to the WhatsApp messages, the federal government apologized on Friday for saying that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the first African president to ring the National Association of Securities Dealers automatic quotation system NASDAQ closing bell. Ngalele, Nigerians doesn't care who rang the closing bell at a secondary stock exchange trading floor in NYC. Nigerians are still waiting for Ngalele to explain why he lied that UAE have stopped suspension of Nigerians entering their country, and in fact, Emirates Airlines have resumed flights to Nigeria. All right, thanks Mazi Anosike for naming Ngalele the hype man of Tinubu.
He's the hype man of the president, not the spokesman. He's the hype man.
All right, let's still take some other calls. Hello, good evening to you.
Yeah, this is John Legend calling back.
All right, John Legend.
Please, Mr. Anosike, please, can you help us do us one favor? We know we have some headlines we are talking about, but we have to talk about future, because Imo State is on threat by hoodlums, criminals. They are killing people there. I just came back from East. I just run, come back with my head. Unknown gunmen from nowhere, and they are disappearing and they are reappearing, because in Nigeria, that is where you will see 10 criminals, 8 run with gun wound. They only catch one person, but the person that shoot them that gun cannot run, catch that person in shoot gun. It's only happen in Nigeria, where you will find 5 criminals, 3 will run away with gun wound. Please, Imo State is on threat. Please and please. I don't want to call them also, because this is radio.
Yes,
thank you.
No, thank you so much, John Legend. All right. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Can you speak up, please?
Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
All right. Tell us your name and location, please.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Keep It Safe.
Mr. Keep It Safe. All right, Mr. Anonymous. Go ahead.
Yes. So, now, please, Mr. Anosike, could someone help me ask the president of Nigeria now, what is so important of you hiding or concealing your academic status? Mr. Anosike, if I say that you, Mr. Anosike, is not a journalist, and you claim that you are a journalist, and I still argue that you are not a journalist, won't you go ahead and prove it to me? That is the question. Now, people, Mr. Tinubu said that he went to Chicago University, and people are saying that he did not go there. And he is asking the court and the whoever to please conceal his credentials. What is this man hiding? For crying out loud, INEC did not state that you must be a professor for you to become a president of Nigeria. At least school staff. Why don't you come out with your school staff and say that you have school staff? Than for you to be claiming that you went to university and obtained a BA. For crying out loud, we are not fools. My younger son was asking me today, a 2-year-old boy. He was asking me today, he said that, Daddy, I answered. He said, Daddy, who is this Tinubu? I said, Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. He said, God forbid that Tinubu cannot be his own president. I said, why? He told me that someone who is hiding his identity cannot rule over him. A boy, 2 years old, is saying this thing in Nigeria. Please tell me, the so-called WAEC and the National Assembly, we are so fast enough to proceed over the model that for our own WAEC result or whatever, and probe her. But look at number one citizen of the whole country called Nigeria. His own nation is being questioned. Then going for the professors in Nigeria. Anyways, our problem in this country are those wearing suits. Our problem in Nigeria are those wearing suits. Because they have disappointed and failed themselves. Let me not say the money that their parents or their guidance use in sending them to school is waste. Let me not use that language. But with their language and their actions on what they are doing have shown that professor is no more important in Nigeria. I know my level in school. As a matter of fact, I'm a law student. I'm a legal professional. Now, practitioner. To this, the so-called men that are wearing suits in Nigeria have disappointed the masses. Look at what Wole Soyinka is saying. It's a big shame to this country called Nigeria. The kind of people, top stuff for you. GOP will live forever. GOP will celebrate more years ahead.
Yes, so thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Keep It Safe. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, Ugo. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't be offended. I'm not trying to tackle anybody, but I want to say something.
Okay.
If I'm a mechanic today, what qualifies me as a mechanic if I have done the right job? So if you're a professor and you're a professor without conscience, what do you want people to call you? You are a professor, you are behaving like a hoodlum. How do you want people to look at the discipline or the qualification of what you have and they name you according to your profession? See, we don't need to see this for even this abroad that people are running to this place to come and do their masters. In fact, almost 80% of them are not going to universities that you are fighting to come and do here. The masters you are doing, they are not doing it. They have population of those that stops in secondary school that never even aspire to go to any level apart from secondary school, and everybody is living fine. And somebody is a professor rigging election for those that do not have common primary school certificate, and you want me to look at that person and call, are they the best? Are the people that we are bringing to power, are they the best head we have in Nigeria? Are they even among the average head we have in Nigeria? Why will the worst of us continue to rule us? He is saying that if they release his result, it's going to cause damage to him. But the people that they killed during the time of election, assuming that I'm in Nigeria and I died during that time, they didn't cause any damage to my family, isn't it? So the one that will cause dent to one person is what the country has to be buried themselves for, so that they can allow that person to excel. I don't understand. But it's well.
It's well, Ugo. It's actually well. Thank you so much.
One person will damage his image, he will dent his image, but you will not dent the image of the whole country.
The whole country, yeah.
You will not look. As I'm talking to you now, your naira is 1,205 naira per pound. Your naira, as I'm talking to you right now, 1,205 naira 1 pound. You understand?
Yeah.
Buhari left it at 800 and 900, 800 and 900. Now under how many months? And you are telling me it's going to cost them to what? It's going to cost them to one man. because he's God. Thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you, Ugo. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening to you. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello. Yeah, good evening. I can hear you. Good evening.
All right, good evening, sir. Please tell us your name and location.
Yeah, this is Akaja. I'm calling from Okota.
Akajaja, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, I want to contribute to the matter on the table. First of all, let me put it like this. The reason why Nigeria is starting all this kind of thing is because we never want to tell ourselves the truth. Whether this thing we call Nigeria will work for us. How can you, the main problem we have in this country is that until we properly overhaul the constitution given to us in 1999, I don't think anything can work in Nigeria. How can you tell us that somebody with level O can be your president and somebody with level O cannot be your banker and cannot be your filling station manager? Can it work? And you have somebody with level O as your president, as your politicians, and you want to have a serious professors. Can it work like that? It cannot work. Let us tell ourselves the truth. This constitution is not helping us. That's why today you go to this court today. They give you another judgment on one issue. You go to Abuja. They give you another judgment in that same issue. You go to Owerri. They give you another judgment. There's a lot of loopholes in this constitution we are using today. There's a lot of loopholes. This constitution, it was concocted to favor the oppressors, not us. We are using it to oppress us. Let us come out, have the courage, and condemn this thing. Let them change this thing for us before this will work. Before I proceed, I want to ask you, have you collected your own palliative?
You are waiting for the palliative.
I've not.
You are waiting for it.
I've not.
In your church, you don't hear anybody don't collect their own palliative in your own church when you're going. I believe you are more than 20 or 30 in that church.
I've not.
Have you had anybody collected? Have you collected in your own period meeting? Have anybody testified that they will give him or her his or her palliative? Our president, have you collected their own?
No, I'm still waiting.
Okay. And look at the system they are using now. They are not telling us that before you can collect palliative, you must present your PVC. Is it right? And you know that the PVC, before you can have PVC in Nigeria, must be at the age of 18. Do you know how many people that enter 18 this month? We know how every people struggle last year. I'm not talking of the previous election, because some people can even touch their own PVC. And they're using that kind of method. Look at in the southeast and see what is going on. Somebody just called that Imo State is on fire. I keep on saying it. The gun in the southeast is becoming too much. This thing now was happening in the time of Goodluck Jonathan. On that our road that we're passing through Benin to go to the east. There's a lot of atrocities happening on that road. Every today you see like they come up from the bush, they shoot everybody. Why there's a lot of checking points? If you count it from Chagamu to Overhead Bridge, you will count no less than 50 different checking points along that route. And these things are happening there. Until Goodluck would not tell them that they remove all those checking points. That's when all this is stop. The solution of the southeast, let them remove all those people with guns in the southeast. So people they will become army in the daytime, in the night, you don't know what else they will become. In the afternoon, you don't know what they will become. That is our problem there. And another thing, okay, look at Anambra State. They were saying that before you can collect PVC, their own palliative, you will present your own PVC. So I keep on asking. My mother, who is in the village, have not told me that she have collected their own. Okay, my sister, they have not told me. Okay, now, people are there. People that less than 18 years, when they started sharing, children that don't enter 18 years, they never give them their own. Have they let us have the code, let us come out and tell ourselves the truth. This thing cannot work. This thing we call our constitution. It cannot work in this country. Unless they change it, things can never work. That is my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akajaja. Thank you for your contribution. All right. Let me go to some WhatsApp messages. No, this one is coming from Olu. No nation is an island on its own. We need other nations to move this country forward, either through security or how to develop our natural resources. We should not be talking or analyzing very important issues as if we have something against government. Nigeria progress is not tied with one man. Let's put our difference aside and put Nigeria first, no matter who is the president. Olu from Badagry. Okay, let me take this call. Hello, good evening to you.
My sister Bibi.
Good evening.
How you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm okay. My brother Anosike. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Chukadibia from Ketu Janiki.
Ukadibia or Chukukadibia?
Chukukadibia, Bibia, Moni Igbo. I think go. This is so on Facebook. I send message since yes on your WhatsApp number. That is a different thing.
Okay, sorry. We'll talk about that. All right, go ahead.
My brother Anosike, I say make I greet you.
Thank you so much.
What God using people to do in that place, God will give you more strength in Jesus' name, oh.
Amen.
Because we learn a lot from even in business and in real life, in everything about Nigeria, we learn a lot from you. May the Lord strengthen you more.
Amen.
The one thing I want to say is that I will ask you this question, Bibi. I don't know if you know of one Mr. David.
David.
The one that Precious brought to your station one day, the other through phone or whatever. Yeah, sometime this week. He said something about those that containing those documents. That have that. In fact, whatever they are hiding, very soon it will be open. Everybody will see it. They cannot turn this one back again.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
I'm getting
it will not be long. All Nigerians will know what is happening, and I believe God will give us what to ask for in Jesus' name. That's all I have to say.
All right,
thank you very much.
Bibi. Thank you so much. Don't worry, we'll talk later.
Okay.
All right. The phone lines are still open. I still have calls coming in. Let me see if I can take this. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you doing?
I'm fine. This is Ambassador KZ.
All right, Ambassador, go ahead.
Yeah, greet your guest, Mr. Anosike in the house.
Okay.
Yeah, see, let us be sincere with ourselves. I don't think we really want to help this country and ourselves, in quotes, if I must use that word. Do you know the last caller just nailed the problem in the head? You cannot work with a failed foundation. You can't build anything on a failed foundation. Our basic problem, the basic problem in this country is the constitution. What exactly is our problem? This constitution is a scam. This constitution is a fraud. It's clear. It's as clear as a crystal ball. What else do a constitution that there's a lot of loophole and lacuna? They intentionally implanted this constitution just to reap the masses. We the masses, we should wake up to reality. This our so-called leader, they are not ready to change it. In as much as this constitution is still is still active, we will remain a slave, and the country will continue to fail. And at the detriment of that, they will be gaining, because they know that the failure of the country will enrich them the more. Thank you, but let us be sincere. If we must get it right, let us start from the constitution. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ambassador. Thank you so much. All right, okay. Hello.
Sorry. Here is Oluwatosin again.
Okay,
I have a question for Mr. Anosike. Mr. Anosike, so when it comes to this results saga with Tinubu and Chiku, now the House of the Senate and then the Rep, are they not able to also join in this matter if they are truly working for the people of Nigeria, to also question Chicago that we need to get the credentials of this man called Tinubu? Because I believe that the Senate and then the Rep, they should be working for the common Nigerians. So why are they not speaking to these Do they need their people to pressure them from their constituency, or what needs to be done in this situation?
Well, I don't know if it's true.
All right, are you done, Oluwatosin?
Okay, then
so he can react. All right,
and then when it comes to the issue of Wole Soyinka, I think it's just not far-fetched from the fact that it's an issue of tribalism. But if you look at such a man, I mean, Wole Soyinka, we all know, I mean, I don't know, but his story is out there. He's the one that pioneered cultism in Nigeria. Wole Soyinka is a man that will fight the school authority because they took their lights or they will not serve them chicken in school. And today, such a man is the one that is siding against these fraudulent people to do evil against our country. These people need to speak up to their conscience and speak truth to power. But will they do it? Hopefully, I don't know. But this is when the nation needs men like this, the elders like this, to come speak. Wole Soyinka's result can be verified. People can go and verify Wole Soyinka's results. But Tinubu's results cannot be verified. He's asking them to hide his results. Now, to the Nigerian youth, they have data to watch Big Brother Africa. Would they sacrifice their data to tag the judges in America on Twitter about this whole thing? Because the nation needs to get better. A large percentage of our youth, a large percentage of our population, which is our youth, which is the strength of the country, is just wasting away. I encourage every youth out there, if you're in Nigeria, if you have data, hashtag these judges in America. Release Tinubu's academic record, because our country needs to get better. We need to get things right for our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Oluwatosin. Thank you. All right, Dansike, you want to
react? If I'm to react to what you said about the Senate and the House of Reps, I can say that the 9th Senate, to me, is looking better than the 10th Senate. Instance, when the current Minister of Tourism was made a commissioner in 2020 by the Buhari administration under PENCOM, he went to the Senate, and the Senate rejected her because he didn't have NYSC certificate. That's the current Minister of Tourism from Sokoto. The 9th Senate, Buhari appointed her to represent Northwest as a High Commissioner in PENCOM. Senate refused to screen her, but this time around she hadn't gotten that NYSC certificate. Senate confirmed her. And if you look at the way Akpabio emerged, the president single-handedly appointed the Senate president as well as the speaker. And he appointed them because he knew that they are going to do his bidding. Akpabio, the Senate president, has more than 8 corruption cases in the court. And that was the main reason he was chosen. Because any day he failed to do the bidding of the president, they will send the EFCC. So if Nigerians are expecting the House of Assembly, the National Assembly, to rise against the president, they will not do it.
Okay.
They will not do it.
Okay. All right. I have this message. Good evening, VOP. Please give us Twitter handle to tag the judge that will rule on Tinubu academic record saga on Monday. And if there's any email of the U.S. court that will judge, please, I need it. We don't want a forgery person to be leading us. All right, VOP is not the organization giving out the Twitter handle. Whoever wants to give out the Twitter handle is up to you. You can give out the Twitter handle, but we do not know and we don't give out Twitter handles. Okay. Another message. Good evening, my sister Anjifano Sige. The only contribution is that I am very happy for all this happenings in Nigeria. Is it is this is the beginning of the end, means that Nigeria problems is coming to an end. Mr. Jude from Okota. We pray so and we hope so that it comes to an end. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Go
ahead.
Please, I heard that our president went to abroad to look for investment. And we have 4 refineries in Nigeria, which can give us more employment. They are not fixing it. And we are not asking the APC government, why is it that our refineries are not working in Nigeria? All these 5 billion that they give to each state, if they gather this money together, this money can go a very, very long way in our refineries. And it will bring employment. It will bring more positive effect to the Nigerian masses. And that's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saka Jaja. Thank you. All right, our time is ticking very fast. Let me just take few messages. And this one, it says, good evening, VOP. If Nigerians did not know before now, let them to know that Nigeria has been made person property by some set of Nigerians. All sectors, judiciary, legislature, executive, the defense, education, religion, etc. in Nigeria have been compromised. The strong men in each sectors have been bought over, so no one should expect the truth from them. Only God can make a way out of the quagmire Nigeria finds itself. This is coming from Egege from Agege. I hope I pronounced that well. Our youths are divided. I don't know who is writing this. No name. Okay? That is it. Peter. Okay, let me just one more call before we round it up. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, my sister.
Good evening. Please tell us your name and location, please.
It's Nnemeka from Ejibo, please.
Oh, Nnemeka, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Right there. I'm gonna think I greet you.
Thank you so much, Nnemeka.
I got to think I thought this going go first. In we OPC and the government internal APC go to Hunter Nebu. We have eze nyagwa na nka ha bụ and eze nyagwa na nke delu kpochi na azụ ụlọ akwa wee buru kpochi o delu resugharị ya
Nnemeka speak English.
Okay, let me explain it to you by there. Let me explain what I said in English.
Okay.
APC government has turned a king who will take in title say in title name they say make nobody advise me.
Okay.
If I do wrong, they do right, to make nobody advise me. Then you go visit nature for in backyard. Coming out in clothes, carry the nation, the full arm. What is it? Full arm, they go out for that. And then everybody they look at nobody be because he have already take title. Nobody should advise him. So no, everybody know they mind them. Very soon, Nigerians don't mind them anymore. Look at this boy Ajiri. Now he comes drop another bomb again. About ringing bell and no ringing bell. Is it ringing bell? Is it our problem?
It's not our problem, my brother.
Oh, my dear, we are also we enter one tax car. No go lie you now. Until everybody go buy life safe jackets. We go save and if the car crash. That is my information to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for that information. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nnemeka. And thank you all. All right, Mr. Ansike, how do you close?
Well, I believe in Nigeria and I know that Nigeria is passing through a treating period, but it will get better. It will get better. We will survive all these things that we are going through and we will be stronger and more united. We are not really against anybody.
Yeah.
Understand? We are not really against anybody. We want the right thing to be done. We want Nigerians to be respected in every part of the world. But the respect has to come from our leadership.
Of course.
That's the image of the country. If our leader has a wrong image, it's going to impact on every one of us. So the right thing should be done.
Thank you so much. I agree with Mr. Anosike that will come out better and stronger. All right, thank you all to our listeners and to the ones who made contribution, starting from Chime, Obi, John Legend, Joseph Dayo, Comrade Roko, AJ, Kolawole. Keep it safe, Chukukadibia, Kaja, Ambassador AZ, Mr. Jude, Nemeka, Eyere, Chinedu, Olu, Austin, and our diasporan brothers, Uncle Sebastian, Oluwatosin, Ugo, Remy, Great Ben. Thank you so much. And to people who did not call, a whole thanks to you too, because without you we won't be here. All right, on that note, I said do have a beautiful Saturday evening. That is how we'll call it a day. And don't forget that we'll be on your airwaves same time next week to bring another interesting major issues that made it to the news your way. All right, my name is B Blast, and don't forget you can follow I and Peter Anosike on Facebook. For Peter Anosike, it is simply Peter Anosike, simply Peter Anosike, and for me it is B Blast Chidi, BIBLAS Chidi. All right, and on Instagram it is BB_BIBLAS. That's how we say good evening and God bless.